Hello, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll explain how a super empath can effortlessly deflate a narcissist's inflated ego. If you're unfamiliar with the term, let me break it down for you. A super empath is a highly empathetic individual who has gone through a personal dark night of the soul, emerging on the other side more mature, self-aware, and capable of fully realizing their potential. They have done the necessary introspective work and have a firm grasp on who they truly are. Super empaths have overcome significant trauma and have become boundary badasses. It's no surprise that super empaths are often misunderstood and blamed for standing firm in their beliefs and refusing to accept the unacceptable. Given the widespread ignorance and prejudice that surrounds them, those who are still in denial or not fully mindful in their daily lives may find this process particularly challenging and distressing. Many of us have faced difficulties similar to those encountered by super empaths. However, please don't take what I've said as an endorsement of super empaths as a superior group. Everyone should recognize their worth, and this topic is more about growth and transformation rather than value. It involves a commitment to always act according to one's highest values and truths, regardless of how others react. Emotional, psychological, and spiritual autonomy includes development, growth, maturity, independence, and control over one's own life. Super empaths undergo a long and arduous maturation process. They are serious about their mission on Earth and avoid toxic positivity or spiritual and emotional avoidance. They tackle the tough jobs that most people would rather ignore, embarking on challenging quests for self-discovery. Their efforts pay off when they reach a level of enlightenment, consciousness, and agency that sets them apart from the general populace. Problems arise when people who lack empathy, emotional manipulators, toxic bullies, and their enablers try to exploit super empaths. Super empaths operate on a different level of truth and personal power. They are highly empathetic, self-actualized spirits who have been thrust into the world to contribute uniquely to the betterment of humanity. They accomplish this in various ways, including establishing connections to higher frequencies beyond their conscious awareness. This is essential to their work. They also help others by reflecting back the aspects of themselves that they cannot perceive, own, accept, or acknowledge. If you have a lot of compassion, you know how challenging this journey can be. Super empaths bring to the surface what individuals may not be ready, willing, or able to face about themselves. By reflecting back unresolved issues and disowned shadow parts, super empaths project the feelings, energies, true intentions, hidden judgments, attitudes, behaviors, and personality traits of others. A person's inner turmoil can manifest as potent energy if they bury their control issues, envy, jealousy, feelings of inadequacy, remorse, humiliation, fury, and so on. Even if these characteristics aren't actively addressed, being around a powerful empath will bring them to the forefront. This is why some people have an instant negative reaction when they meet a super empath. Working with unconscious people in denial and dysfunction can be difficult, especially if they are abusing substances, have unresolved trauma, or pretend they have done the work when they haven't. It's challenging to deal with those who fool themselves into thinking their artificial optimism and emotional or spiritual bypassing make them morally and spiritually superior. If you know someone like this, they likely struggle in the company of a super empath who reflects back the truths they are unwilling or unable to accept. To avoid facing their own issues, these individuals may avoid, run from, deny, or project onto the super empath, who then serves as a catalyst for the very things they try to avoid. This is why many super empaths are often used as scapegoats in dysfunctional and unhealthy families. Super empaths are naturally disruptive because of the frequency they carry, reminding others of who they are. Individuals who are less developed, secure, and self-aware may have difficulty with this. When dealing with people on the destructive narcissism continuum, super empaths can be a catalyst for the healing and growth of others, although this chance is often wasted. Projection deflects blame and responsibility onto a scapegoat, in this case, the super empath, blaming them for the destructive narcissist's actions. So, how can a powerful empath overcome a narcissistic ego? It requires vitality, bravery, strength, genuineness, and willpower. Super empaths are strong individuals who don't buy into narcissists' manipulations or absorb their projections. They are unmoved by manipulation techniques like malicious rumors, lies, deceit, and smear campaigns. A super empath, deeply rooted in their integrity, will not be swayed by any amount of logic or justification. Narcissists, in contrast, are toxic individuals with a childlike mentality, trapped in adult bodies who have experienced trauma. Their toolkit consists entirely of destructive strategies like lying and manipulation. The super empath is completely immune to these tactics. They are not emotionally, mentally, or spiritually dependent on anyone else. They are self-aware, self-reliant, and confident. They don't need others' approval or validation. Relationships with others thrive because the super empath doesn't seek control. However, narcissists struggle to deal with someone who is self-assured and empathetic. They can't handle someone who is strong, clear, and empowered. The presence of a super empath makes the narcissist uneasy, as it exposes their fears, vulnerabilities, and the truths about themselves they don't want to face. The energy of a super empath brings out all the unpleasant feelings underlying narcissism in a narcissist. As narcissists project their emotional suffering onto others, enabled by their entourage, the super empath highlights their flaws and delusions. Super empaths are powerful, brave, courageous, intelligent, intuitive, kind, loving, honest, and good people. Contrary to conventional thinking, they possess these traits and are protected from the destructive narcissist's negative vibes. The super empath's keen perceptions come from their resilient emotional makeup and trust in their judgment. They are exceptionally attuned to emotional cues from those around them. Any mask, no matter how subtle or cunning, can be seen by a super empath. Passive-aggressive actions are not lost on them. Super empaths have the uncanny ability to quickly and accurately size up a room and its inhabitants, often setting off alarm bells for the insecure and pretenders. A super empath's need for honesty makes it difficult to fool them, and any attempt to influence or trick them will backfire. Their exceptional recall and pattern recognition make it nearly impossible for a super empath to miss anything. Being in the company of a strong empath can be daunting if your motives are not genuine. They pick up on every nuance, from a smirk to a passive, hostile remark. Instead of responding or getting involved, they trust that justice will be done in the end. Super empaths are incredibly patient people who don't get angry easily, knowing their intuition is unfalsifiable. Eventually, the truth always emerges from the darkness into the open. If you've shown yourself to be anything less than honest, genuine, or well-intentioned, the super empath will know. Living one's best life, pursuing one's soul goal, and trusting that everything else will fall into place is the emphasis for a super empath. Narcissists who are dishonest and destructive, along with their enablers, struggle with assurance, confidence, and power. The destructive narcissist stands no chance against a super empath, who knows how to buy time and let the truth unfold. When faced with the narcissist's facade and inflated self-importance, the super empath's combination of personal and spiritual power, based on honesty, truth, and love, is formidable. When their own or their loved one's safety is threatened, super empaths can act with cold, sociopathic precision, despite their inherent compassion and empathy. If it's in their best interest, super empaths won't hesitate to cut you out of their lives. They are not susceptible to the narcissist's projections, so the narcissist must carry the burden of their destructive characteristics. Super empaths are resilient, optimistic people who never give up hope. They are fearless, brave, courageous, faithful, and tremendously strong. The narcissist's negativity and poison are not only activated by the super empath's dazzling light, but also inadequate in its presence. When a narcissist encounters a super empath, the aspect they detest the most is someone who isn't afraid to push back, call them out, and use silence, detachment, and time as powerful weapons. Unlike a passive target who can be easily manipulated, dominated, tricked, or controlled, the super empath has the ability to heal, recover, and start anew with a fresh perspective on life. The narcissist will eventually realize that the super empath is beyond their control, forcing them to bear the weight of their actions alone. Cornered and without an escape, destructive narcissists may start having nightmares as they are forced to face themselves. That's a great outcome. I think I've covered everything on this subject. If you want to learn more about the dangers of narcissistic abuse, I have over 100 more videos on my channel that you can watch. You can find out how to heal from the abuse and move on to a life of happiness, self-assurance, and independence. Before we end today's video, let's summarize a bit. A super empath is a highly empathetic individual who has undergone significant personal growth and self-awareness. They have a deep understanding of who they are and what they stand for, and are not afraid to stand up for their beliefs and values despite criticism and ignorance from those who are not mindful or self-aware. When super empaths encounter individuals who are in denial or dysfunction, such as narcissists, they can serve as a catalyst for the very issues these people are trying to avoid. The super empath reflects back to them the truths they are unwilling or unable to accept, causing them to project their issues onto the super empath. This can make it challenging for the super empath to work with these individuals, especially if they are engaging in unhealthy behaviors or have unresolved trauma. Overcoming a narcissistic ego involves staying true to oneself and continuing the journey of self-discovery and growth. Narcissists come to fear super empaths because super empaths possess a level of emotional, psychological, and spiritual autonomy that allows them to act according to their highest values and truth, regardless of others' reactions. Super empaths have gone through a personal dark night of the soul and have done the necessary introspective work to fully realize their potential. They have a firm grasp of who they are and are not easily influenced by toxic or manipulative individuals. Overall, the strength and independence of super empaths make them immune to the manipulation and control tactics of narcissists, and they serve as a powerful force for healing and growth in those around them. That's why narcissists never stood a chance to begin with. So, what do you think? Write in the comments. I hope you found this video informative, and thank you for watching.